Hi, my name is Joey. It's been about 6 years since I put out my last video. I thought I'd put out a video because I want to talk about acclimation of cichlids. I just bought a living ram actually on Saturday, 5 days ago. It's been acclimating nicely actually in my quarantine slash uh, hospital tank. I had a brain freeze right there. But yeah, so he's been acclimating for about 5 days now. I thought I'd share some insight and some ideas about acclimation, particularly with cichlids. Um, Bolivians, obviously, yeah, I had a German blue ram, didn't go out too well, didn't go too well, but the Bolivians doing a lot better. And there's definitely some differences. I want to put out another video just talking about the difference between those two fish. But for now, I want to talk about the actual acclimation of, particular with my situation in Bolivian rams. So first, obviously picking out healthy fish at the local fish store. I'm also going to put a video for that because that deserves its own video on how to choose healthy fish, fish that are not diseased, fish that are doing well in the tank. So I'm going to put out a separate video for that. But right now, let's just assume that the fish is healthy. I have him coming to my house. I got my quarantine slash hospital tank ready to go. Of course, one of the big things is to make sure that your tank is cycled. I would say, in particular, you want to have at least for cichlids, especially if they're more sensitive cichlids like German blue rams, at least 3 months the tank running, so that way it has plenty of beneficial bacteria, and is able to keep the aquarium stable, able to keep the ammonia and nitrites zero ppms, and then have your nitrates obviously low, 20 or less is 10 is optimal. Anything less than that's great. But aside from that, yeah, it's at least I would say 3 months, 6 months is even better. I would say after 6 months, your aquarium is definitely aged and full established. So it's getting back. My aquarium's over a year been running, so it's definitely fully cycled. So I get the Bolivian ram. First of all, obviously different methods on how to acclimate fish. I use the plop and drop method. Just putting them on the surface of the water column, let it float, and then every 5 minutes I'll put in some water and do that about 5 times until the fish is acclimated to the parameters somewhat. Obviously, the more sensitive the fish, maybe the longer to acclimate. But with the Bolivian ram, I usually do about 5 times intervals with 5 minutes, then I put the water in, 5 minutes, and then from that point, about 5 times. And then once I do that, what I'll do is I'll get a bucket, put the net, and then just put the fish in the net, and then put the net in the tank, and then let it come out on its own. Once it does that, it's going to obviously be freaked out. It's not going to know where it's at. It's going to sit at the bottom. That's normal. It's not going to eat. That's normal. Might be like that for a couple days, 2-3 days. So that's completely normal. So what I like to do is I like to, first of all, before you treat it with anything, you want to be able to obviously take out the carbon. You want to be able to take out any type of chemical filtration you have, any type of media filtration that you have. You want to take that out as well. You don't want to have anything in there that's going to take out what you put in it. So definitely take out your mechanical filtration, your chemical filtration, your pads, anything like that. What I would say too, leave the biological filtration in there, but take out the chemicals, certainly carbon, anything phosphates, ammonia remover, taking all that stuff out. You don't want to get it filtered out. So once you do that, then what I like to do is I like to use Pimafix, API Pimafix, along with Melafix, both in combination of those two. Those are really good for treating bacterial and fungus. Okay, so I'm able to treat a broad range of things like the bacteria and fungus. Also, it helps heal fins and it helps heal wounds. In my opinion, I think it's pretty underrated, those two. Uh, and they seem to be less harsh than other treatments. So I really like using that. And when you use that, don't be afraid. It's going to bubble up your water. That's fine. It's going to foam it up on the top of the surface. Totally normal. That's fine. It'll go away. It'll dissipate after a while. But use that. And also, I would use API General Cure. That will treat the internal parasites. Definitely want to treat cichlids with internal parasites. So I would use those three all in conjunction myself. I have done that with the Bolivian, and the Bolivian is doing well so far. So just use those three, follow the instructions, and then they should be usually, but I would say the first 3 to 5 days is the most critical. If your fish is doing good after 5 days, then it's probably going to be well off in being acclimated and being healthy, obviously. So it's very good after 5 days, but usually the first 3 to 5 is the most critical. Now, you can also use a drip method for acclimation, but I'll talk about that in other videos. For now, I'm just talking about the plop and drop just on the top, and then do what I said, the 5-time increments with putting water in the bag. So okay, so use those medications all in conjunction, and then once also I want to mention protection gear. Something that I didn't use when I started, something that I do use now. A lot of these chemicals, they, if you look in the box, it'll say, possible, can cause cancer. So what I like to do is I like to wear a mask. I wear gloves anytime I touch any type of chemicals, treatments like that. I'm starting to wear gloves now because you just never know. It's just better to be safe than sorry. So I would definitely wear mask, gloves whenever you're handling this type of stuff like General Cure or even the Pimafix, Melafix. I would wear gloves for that, and always wash your hands after handling that type of stuff because it is these are treatments, but these they have chemicals in them. So also I'm going to do another video on tank mates as well because that's also important with the acclimation. For right now, I'll discuss. Obviously, your fish is going to be really stressed when it first comes in the tank. It's going to be new. It's not going to understand where it's at. Definitely want to have them in there with no other cichlids that can pick on them. Okay, so if you have a blivet already in there, or you have another cichlid in there, you definitely don't want to. You definitely don't want to do that. You want to have him in there by himself, where nobody's there to bother him, other than maybe tetras or something, school fish. Just not another cichlid or any of the fish that could bully him or territorial fish. That's really important because obviously he's not going to be able to acclimate if he's stressed. And again, that's a whole nother video about tank mates. I'll do another video just based on that. But for right now, just the acclimation, let him in there. Stress-free, good water parameters. Keep the water clean. Get an RODI system. Keep the pH to about 7. You don't want to have hard water. I would say anything past 7.88 is just not good. Okay, especially for the Bolivian German blue rams, you want to have low pH acidic water. You don't want to have hard water. Just not good for them. I have 10 years of experience with cichlids, and I can tell you from my experience, they don't do well with hard water. You may have them for a little while. They may be doing all right. They may be swimming. They may get acclimated with hard water. But I'm telling you, they're just merely surviving. They are not thriving. Eventually, they're going to come down with a disease, and eventually they're going to perish. So do what's right. Get an RODI system, and so that way you're able to treat your water. You're able to control the pH. You can get it down to 6.8, even down to 6.5 or 7. I would say anywhere between 6.8, 7.2 is good, and just keep the water parameters stable. And then we can just go on. There's volume, water volume, stability. But for right now, that's mainly what I want to say about acclimation. There could be other things that I missed. but I will do other videos later on. I just wanted to touch bases on that. And also, really another quick thing, German blue rams are very sensitive, okay? Actually, in the tank that I'm acclimating the blue ram, I've had every German blue ram that I've tried to acclimate with that, and in the water, in the aquarium is over 6 months old, by the way. Every German blue ram that I've tried to acclimate has perished, okay, in that tank. The minute I put Bolivian ram in there, I've also had a threadfin cichlid, Akara, the threadfin Akara cichlid. He did fine in there. I've had tetras; they've done fine. My Bolivian's doing good so far. But every time I put in German blue rams, they've died on me on that tank. So I'm going to do another video about German blue rams versus Bolivian rams. Love both of those fish, but they do have their differences. German blue rams definitely more sensitive than the Bolivian rams. So I'll do another video on that, but thanks for watching. For now, I'll leave it with the acclimation. If you have any questions, leave comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. But other than that, thanks for watching. If you like this channel, subscribe, and I'll put out more videos soon. Thank you for watching.